Next up is Josephine Hubbard.
Flexibility is defined as the ability to bend, but not easily break, to be easily modified or changed. And these traits may be beneficial when the environment is changing often, and in order to survive, you must quickly adjust to match your current conditions. And if you've ever had your bird feeder raided by a squirrel, or your trash traipsed through by raccoons, then you know just how clever and flexible urban wildlife can be. Driven by access to human foods, these crafty critters can learn to solve new foraging problems. This willingness to explore and flexibility to learn allows many urban wildlife to exploit human resources and succeed in cities. My research addresses questions such as what makes an individual or a species flexible, and what are the conditions that are favorable for flexibility to evolve? To address this, I study macaques because just like the raccoons, they are natural extractive foragers and they thrive in urban areas. They're great for studying flexibility because they have the widest and most diverse geographic range of all of the non-human primates. I use a general dichotomy to study flexibility and problem solving in macaques. On the one hand, I study how they solve a familiar problem, such as opening water bottles filled with juice. And on the other, how they test novel problems, such as opening a puzzle box filled with peanuts. And a major hypothesis underlying both experiments is that exploration may actually drive problem solving and result in more flexible foraging. So for the familiar problems, you might expect that individuals have a lot of experience with these objects. They may have already figured out some strategies for solving. So more exploration isn't likely to enhance that. But with the novel problems, it's likely that exploration may enhance their solving abilities. So for our water bottle experiments, we found that although individuals varied in how much they explored, this didn't actually affect how they solved, because everybody was able to open the bottle eventually. But this wasn't the case for the puzzle boxes. The more that they explored these objects, the more likely they were able to open the box and get the food. Studies on flexibility may be able to help understand how individuals or species adjust to urban spaces. So I'm really interested in understanding how animals adjust to human pressures. And flexibility may be crucial for coexistence. Research on flexibility may be able to help target species that are particularly invulnerable or inflexible to human encroachment. And additionally, by studying the cognitive capacities of these animals, we may be able to minimize human-animal conflict. Successful urban invaders are considered to be in a sort of cognitive arms race, where they're able to solve increasingly complex problems introduced by people. So if you've ever been caught in this race yourself, with a raccoon or otherwise, consider consulting a behaviorist to try to figure out what strategies might be best for you. Thank you.
So I'm thinking of raccoons here. What advice do you have for us for dealing with?
Yeah, so it definitely depends on what animal you're dealing with. You need to know, how to deal with them. But the main thing is to make sure that you're not giving them food. Food is a huge attractant for animals. So I've done all sorts of projects like covering trash cans and trying to get animals to adjust their behavior. So that would be my biggest thing.
Great, yeah, it sounds like good advice. And what excites you most about studying behavioral flexibility?
What I love about flexibility is that first, the monkeys always surprise me. Whenever I expect that they're going to do something, they do something else. So you always have to be on your toes. But the other thing is that you can study flexibility in a variety of ways. So the way I chose to do it was with their cognition. But you could imagine, you could study how they change their ranges or how they change exactly what they're eating on. And you can also look at this in a variety of animals. So the future is bright.
Great, thank you. And how are our judges? I think we're good. Okay. Thank you so much. Good job.